This is why you should never use Zoom. Melissa was a teacher who taught a 6th grade class. During the first day of online class, a student's microphone had some weird loud noises coming from it. And when she checked to see who it was, she saw that her student Emily's microphone was muted and her video was turned off. So Melissa told Emily to turn her video back on, but even after 5 minutes, she didn't reply. But just when Melissa started to get scared, someone did turn on the video. It was a creepy man standing where Emily was supposed to be, and he said it was already too late. It turns out that man shot and killed Emily. Melissa tried to call 911 for Emily, but it was already too late for her. This is why you should never order food using DoorDash. When this lady made a DoorDash order, she soon received a message from the driver asking her a question. He asked if she was single, but she said she had a boyfriend. He then said he was tired and that he wouldn't deliver the order unless she got in bed with him. So the woman obviously felt really unsafe because he had her phone number and her address, so she called DoorDash customer service. But DoorDash didn't want to ruin their image when the story went viral on social media a little while later, so they ended up firing the driver. But who knows what'll happen, he still has her phone number and address. This is why you should never use Snapchat. A young boy and girl were Snapchatting late night back in 2015, you know, just making goofy faces and having a normal conversation. But while they were Snapchatting back and forth, the young boy realized that he saw a silhouette in the girl's window. So the young boy asked the girl if she had a brother, but the girl said no, she was an only child. Why would he ask that question? The boy could still see the outline of a man outside her window watching her, and so he told her to turn around. And she could see the man staring right at her when she turned around. So the girl screamed as loud as she could and then ran into her parents' room. And when the parents went into the daughter's room, they found the window shattered with just a note left on her bed. And the note said, "See, this is what happens when you talk to other boys." And the man who was responsible for this was sadly never found. This is why you should never trust dolphins. We can all agree that dolphins are cute, but you're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. Their sexual organ is not only for reproducing, they can also use it as a hand and touch and feel things with it. Dolphins can stay up for 5 days without sleeping and they don't lose their mental focus. These animals are sexually aggressive, even with humans. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, they kill their babies just so they can keep reproducing with the mother. This is a great time to remember, trust nobody. Here are some terrifying trees you should never touch. In Pakistan, you can find these ghost trees. You might be curious as to what gives these trees such a ghost-like appearance. Well, it's the spiders, the millions of spiders that live in the trees and weave webs there. Spiders go up into these trees when it floods, and then they weave these humongous webs. Another tree you should never touch is the sandbox tree, because it's covered in super sharp spikes. Also, the fruits in these trees will pop sometimes, and this will send debris flying everywhere. Avoid trees with this red line on them. That's the sign of the manchineel tree, which are some of the most poisonous trees in the world. If you just stand near one of them, you'll need an ambulance. And you definitely can't eat the fruit from the tree, you'll most certainly die. The tree can also damage any material, even metal, because of its corrosive properties. You should never do these things in other countries. Do not tip when you eat a meal at a restaurant in Japan. It's actually seen as something insulting over there. Make sure to be careful where you step in Thailand, because stepping on money is very frowned upon. And this is because it's rude to walk on money when the king is labeled on every single note. Surprisingly, you shouldn't finish your food at restaurants in China. Doing so will imply that you're still hungry and you haven't had enough food. So always leave a little on your plate. Don't ever use your left hand in India. You need to use your right hand for eating, passing money, and shaking hands. You only use your left hand in the bathroom. Don't ever order a cappuccino or a latte after breakfast in Italy. It's considered a rude and also bad habit. But here's something you should do in every country. You should never ask your girlfriend to marry you at a baseball game. There's nothing worse than a public marriage proposal. Literally everything can go wrong. This guy proposed to his girlfriend at a Toronto Blue Jays and Boston Red Sox game. The man kissed her and said "I love you" as he began to kneel, and the young woman was surprised. As expected, the spectators saw the marriage proposal and pulled out their phones to record it. But the guy opened the box to reveal a ring pop, a slap, a drink being thrown, and some insults later, the man revealed the real ring, leaving everyone in suspense. The viral video got over 200,000 views in 48 hours. So, whose side are you on? Never give a dozen roses to your girlfriend in this country. In Russia, you should only give your girlfriend an odd number of roses. And if you don't, misfortune and death can befall you. Even numbers represent that you completed a life cycle, and odd numbers represent instability. So you gotta remember, if you want to date in Russia, odd numbers are your friend. Going to a funeral instead, even numbers are your answer. But for now, just go get your girl some flowers.